As a beekeeper, there are times when you get the holy crap, that might work idea. And you just literally can't wait to see if what you thought is going to work. Right, guy? So we are headed to a man's mall. And there's no better place to start than a local Menards for inexpensive materials. So we're headed inside, and as always, don't forget your mask. So we're headed over here into the building materials department. They changed things up on me again, just to screw with me. So it looks like I'm gonna have to hunt a bit to find what I'm looking for, because I just don't see it. They used to be over here, now they're not. Can you tell me where T-posts are? Out the door? Thank you. Have to go outside now. Okay, I came here for 5.5-inch studded T-posts, and it looks like they are out, which absolutely sucks. I got a million of everything else that I don't need and none of what I do need. So what I really came for were these. These are plates for the T-post. This is when I had the holy crap idea. And I'll show you what I need these for in a minute. Well, ask and you shall receive. I asked around and they had some out in their yard out here, so I came out here and this is exactly what I'm looking for, the 5.5-foot studded T-post. Now I'm only going to take one because I want to try it out first to see if this is going to work, and we'll go home, try it out, and then we'll tell you what we're up to. If you saw my previous videos, you saw that I went out and purchased these Man Lake mini mating nucs, which a lot of places use, very, very popular. And then I also did a couple of videos where I made up my own little mini mating nucs from shipping containers. And I have these all made up, but you know, the second aspect of this is how am I going to set these out. I could set them out on the ground. A lot of people do. They just set them on the ground. Actually, they kind of alternate entrances, sort of like this, and then do pairs of them down the line. If you're in an area which doesn't have a lot of skunks, raccoons, bears, and you don't have bear fencing out, that's an option for you, obviously. I have skunks, raccoons, bears, mice, you name it. Setting it on the ground offers opportunities for mice, especially these. These are a little foamier, easy to chew through. Now, the University of Gulf, they take these and they set these on cinder blocks. They set out cinder blocks, set this on a cinder block, and then they take a strap like this, and then they strap it to the cinder block. That way, they don't have issues with raccoons getting into their little mini mating nucs. The raccoons enjoy the syrup, the syrup attracts them, and that's what they mainly go for. I have heard of them going after brood, but I mean, mice too, you're real close to the ground. They didn't say anything in their videos about whether they had a mouse issue, but you also got to set out a bunch of blocks. However, it's very inexpensive. You set out your blocks. I don't know what a block costs. I would imagine somewhere around $2 to $3. Let's say $2. Very, very, not very costly for you whatsoever. Now, if you've watched my my videos on my two-frame mating nucs, you note that I had my two-frame mating nucs. I installed a bracket on the side of the box, and I installed it actually over this. I made a 2x4 post out of it. I had wanted to use just cedar posts, but getting cedar posts is, number one, a little bit expensive. Number two, I just can't find them around here. So I cut these up. I coated them with creosote on the bottom, and then I cut an angle, and the bracket just slides over, and it actually worked pretty good, with the exception of this. Number one, I had to dig each hole with a post hole digger, which was a pain in the ass. You hit a rock, got to move over. So I dug the hole, and I only dropped it down 16 inches or so into the ground, and it worked fairly decently here. But over at the farm, there's a more clayey soil when it gets muddy. When I stuck this in and packed the dirt around it, when it would rain, the dirt would get muddy, and then the weight of my two-frame mating nuc would make these things lean on me, and I wouldn't notice for a week or so that they were leaning, which was a big pain in the ass and a little disappointing. So I thought to myself, what could I use instead? And I have all these little 2-foot garden stakes that I had for some garden fencing. I was looking at them, and I'm like, man, if I put a shelf bracket on that, I said, I bet you I could make something out of that. So I was, looking on the website. I was on Menard's website, and I only have a few of them, so I was looking up how much they were each, and they're relatively inexpensive. And then this popped up, these 5.5-foot T-posts popped up, and I said, man, that's a little big for what I need, a little tall. But what intrigued me was that bracket that I showed you earlier. When I saw that, my wheel started spinning, and I thought that I could do something with it. Now this is a very, very rudimentary prototype. The bolts are too long, but it's only thing I had on me at the time. I just wanted to get this made up to see if my idea would work for this. I cut a little piece of plywood as a platform. I installed these little bolts through this little bracket, and we're going to test out whether this will work to hold up one of these and get it up off the ground. I wish they made these in maybe 4.5-foot T-post, but 5.5 was the smallest I could come up with. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to install one of these. Now this is a property line here to my neighbor's house. One of the things you're going to want to make sure of is that you know what's underneath the ground. Call before you dig type thing. So you don't cut any phone lines or cable lines or electric lines or anything like that. So you can do a mark, property locate from Digger's Hotline. So I have done that in my property a few times for other projects. I know there's nothing back here, so I'm not too concerned about it. But also, you also want to make sure that you're not putting your bees too close to your neighbor as well. I'm doing it right here just as a test. Most of my mating nucs are going to be going, well, some of them are going to be here in the yard, but in different places. And then I'm going to be out at the farm, where I'm going to have quite a few out there. So, but I want to see if this will work first. So I only bought one post and I bought one bracket. The two together cost me $8. Yeah, that's a little pricey. Honestly, it's $3.69 for the post. It was $3.95 for the bracket. Altogether, it was $8.08 or something stupid, or $8.06 with tax. Yeah, that is a little bit pricey. The straps, I went and bought these online too. I can't remember. I bought $1.75 each. I bought 30 of these. This one I had handy. The other ones I've ordered. They still got to come in yet. They were back ordered, so I'll just wait. I'm not in no hurry for them, but this should work. So first thing we're going to do, again, like I said, I know that there's nothing back here. Visual references for queen mating is always a good thing for them to key on. Number one, I've got it color coded. Number two, we're sort of near objects, and that's really good. You can put them next to small trees, posts, something that they can identify and mark for their return trip. Also, mating nukes shouldn't be in the wide open. Yes, you can put them in the wide open, but you know, keeping them with a little bit of shade is helpful for them as well. Wind breaks are another good thing for you. So first thing I'm going to do, I've got my post and my post pounder. I've had this. Not everybody's got one. Now it comes obviously in a T shape. The studs on this side, this is called a studded T-post. The studs will be on the side opposite you want your nuke to face, okay? So I'm gonna go back here. This is kind of near my property line. And you also want to make sure that you're pounding this plumb, because you don't want it pitched forward or pitched back, because you know, your nuke, remember your nuke has got to sit on this, and you want it pretty well parallel, perpendicular I should say, and you don't want, you know, it to be pointing downward where your combs will be hanging weird or anything like that. So keep that in mind. So put this on. I have frost in the ground. As soon as I get through a little bit of layer of frost, it'll go right through. Okay, that's good. And you see, this is about as high as I really want to get it. That's actually pretty good. Okay, so we've got that on. Now this T-post has a cross in the middle, and that fits right over the top of the post. Then you want to get it at the elevation that you want to be able to work your mating nuke. Okay, this is where I want to work my mating nuke, okay? Right about there. Maybe a little lower. We'll take a look. Maybe a notch or two below. There we go. And you can adjust these. That's the beauty of it. Now, here's another thing I'm going to do. Okay, we have this strap. I'm actually going to slide this strap between this wooden platform and the bracket. And then I'm going to tighten up these bolts a bit. Like, again, I just said that these are sort of temporary. They're not the right size, obviously. I've got 2-inch bolts, and I probably need like a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch at most. Okay, I do want to get this, oops, there we go. I do want to get this bracket, I do want to get this strap a little bit forward, as forward as I can get it. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now, we don't need them this long. We can trim them off a little bit later, but you get the general idea behind this. So, there's our platform. Here's our mating nuke. It will sit right on there. Okay. Now when you're working it, you can either work it up here or you can just take it off, set it on your ground and work it there. It's up to you. You know, I might have to make these platforms a little bit wider so this doesn't accidentally tip off. That's what I don't want to have happen. Okay, but okay, this will go like this. Oh man. Okay. Okay. And there we go. And that's all there is to that. Now this is on here. Raccoons won't be able to get to it. And it's very easy to access, like I said. You turn the dial, let the bees out. They'll do their thing. We're out of the way for raccoons, mice, skunks down here. Yes, raccoons can climb up, but once they're on here with the strap in place, this shouldn't be an issue. Now I could put the straps along the side. We'll have to play with that a little bit. But that's all there is to it. And then when you want to work it, you just pop the button, and there we go. And then the Man Lake ones actually has spots for straps, but the Man Lake one fits on there sort of exactly the same way. Just enough to keep it from being messed with. So what do you think? You think this will work? Do you think it's a good idea? I have to kind of take a look at it and see what it looks like. It's an idea anyways. The T-post makes it easy for me to, you know, pound a stake in. These stakes are these posts are not going to be leaning at all on me or falling over or anything. So that makes it a plus. I actually might end up hanging my two framers off of it too. Haven't decided yet. So that's it. You can pick it up or just work on it right here. I'll have to wait till almost June before I can see if this will work. But I think I might be onto something here. Yeah, I could use masonry block, but like I said, I'm real close to the ground. Mice, raccoons. Once you strap it, the raccoons and the skunks won't really have an issue with the box itself. They won't be able to get inside, but the skunks still will scratch and start chewing on the bees. This way, it's up out of their noses. They literally can't get to it. The raccoons, they won't be able to open the lid due to the strap. And bears, well, it might be more. A bear can do a lot of damage. And I remember Jason Bragg put a bunch of these out, and he didn't have them on T-posts. It was an original idea that I came up with, but he had his laying out on pallets, and I don't remember if he had 4 or 5 per pallet out, stretched all along this field for his mating nukes. And a bear came through and destroyed, I don't even know how many, 50 of his nukes, his little mating nukes, just destroyed them all. He does this for a living, so that was a big hit to him. He had to go out and buy. I think he went out and bought bear fencing for his apiary after that. But this might be a little secondary kind of thing you can do. But you can string these up. Now remember, when you're doing this, you're gonna have to, if you're in your own yard, you're gonna have to mow around these things or trim. So you want to put it back far enough to where you really don't have to do that. Honestly, if I am going to do this, I'm going to back it up along this line, probably like right where I'm standing here. That way I don't have to worry about mowing this little area right here or trimming it or anything like that. So keep that in mind when you're doing this project. But let me know what you think, if you think this will work. And if it helps you out, great. I think this is going to work pretty good for me, actually. Like I said, I don't like the idea of the $8 a piece type deal, but once it's in place, it'll be there forever. So it's a one-time cost for years and years. Yeah, you can leave these up in the wintertime, and without bees in them. And if you want to store them up here, I'm sure you could. But you can just take this off, take this with you, and do what you got to do in the wintertime. Store these away, fill these up full of bees in the springtime, and then just boom, set them out. Okay, till next time, happy beekeeping. Remember, all beekeeping is local. Take care.